Teamster Power 767 Reality Check with Jeff Schenfeld and Garfield Hooper. All right, Garfield, how's it going today?
Pretty good, pretty good. Been a busy weekend.
Okay. Same here, same here. Once again, we're going to get right into it. Today's going to be about grievances.
Yes.
Okay. Seems like it's always about grievances because the company's always giving discipline, right?
They claim they give discipline to fix behavior, but they don't. They give discipline as punishment. There are plenty of
Yeah.
ways to fix behavior, and there
Yep.
are plenty of ways when discipline's not necessary. And
Yeah.
having that conversation with somebody can prevent it from happening. But instead they just want to be like, "Oh no, we'll file. We'll just give the paperwork." And the first thing that any supervisor always tells me, "Oh, it's just a warning letter. Don't worry about it. It's just a warning letter."
Right.
No,
Right. Yeah.
no, that's the
Yeah.
first step in termination. Like you have to get a warning letter unless you do a cardinal infraction. You have to get a warning letter
Hmm.
before they can suspend you, before they can terminate you. So it's
Yeah.
absolutely the first step they have to do to get rid of you. The more people we can get that through to, the better.
I mean, very important. I mean, every step of the way. And if they're, they call you in the office, I like to find out what they want to, do first. Hey, what's the
Yeah.
issue here?
Yeah.
I want to be able to, hey, what to the member, hey, what's going on? What happened here? Let me hear, what's going on so we could so we can see how can we can attack this. And what happens is they want to rush it, right? They want
Yes.
to rush it. Oh, let's give discipline, this and that. No. Okay, it's one person at a time.
Yep.
It's the steward, it's the member, it's the member of management. And however long it takes, oh, let's just do it. No, no, no. No, no, no. You say what you have to say. You say the lies you have to say, management always, and then we'll respond with the truth and factual stuff and we'll ask our questions. You're not going to rush me. You're
Now,
just not going to rush me.
this is something that I had to learn. They
Yeah.
said it to you. I remember it's one of the few things that stuck with me from like one day of steward class. But it's something that I had to like get through my head as a steward when I was coming up. Is like when I'm in that room and I'm dealing with a discipline, whether it be a supervisor, center manager, a division manager, a district manager. If I'm dealing with a discipline and I'm in a hearing as a steward, I'm equal to the person I'm sitting across from. Like I get to ask the questions that
Absolutely.
I want to. You're not there as a witness. You're not there to put your signature on a piece of paper. You're there to conduct an investigation and conduct a hearing. And you have the right to ask questions. You have the right to call a caucus and talk
Always.
to your member privately outside without management. And I would encourage any stewards listening to this to do that. It's especially if it's a more serious offense, like a termination or a suspension or something like that. But I mean,
Yeah.
any time that you feel like you need to get more information from the member without without the management there to look over your shoulder or to pay attention or to hear it, call a caucus,
Yeah.
step outside, and take the time you need to get all the facts straight so that you can present the case accordingly.
Well, it's also if the member is starting to put foot in mouth.
Yes.
Okay. And as a BA, I would always the late manager, they were ready to stomp on. Oh, we're gonna get him. Nope, taking a caucus, and that it breaks it. And you try to tell the member, hey, just stay calm, stay
Yep.
calm. Then all of a sudden, certain things to blow up. Wow, and I said, let's just listen, and we got to follow a process, right? You let them speak, and then we speak, and we don't interrupt them, and they don't interrupt us either. Management, okay? We'll ask our questions, do what we have to do, and the member just has to. I mean, they can have questions, that's fine,
Yeah.
but it just can't get out of hand because then it starts getting like that and they get combative and you got to deal with it. You're trying to get rid of something, you're trying to do something. You just got to make sure, very mindful of the member, okay?
Mhm.
Because you don't know what kind of mood they're in or everything like that. But we ask our questions, we do what we have to do. We don't do drive-through hearings. I've
Yeah.
said that before. We don't do drive-through hearings. I'm not going to do it. They want to just, oh, let's just get as many people. No, 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 no. If I have to take 10 carcasses, then I'll take 10 carcasses. That's it. But, we're going to get to the bottom of it. But, what I've noticed lately is we get to the bottom of it. No, we still got to give it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We just proved. We just
Yeah.
proved it. Yay. The driver, it was picked up by another driver, in an RS3. It was picked up. Okay. Well, it's not showing in the system. Well, the other driver did do it. You guys didn't do your due diligence. Stop wanting to give discipline.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't like to give discipline. The hell you don't? It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Let's just give it out. Okay, this is what they're on this week. We're gonna just do this. And I'm like, no, you're not just gonna do this. We're gonna take each, we're gonna base each case on the merits of the case, the
Yes.
merits of what we have in front of us. You're not just gonna give it just because what's that? What do they like to say? Oh, my boss told me I have to. I
Yeah.
don't care if your boss told you you had to.
And get your
Doesn't mean
boss
you're
in
gonna
here.
give
We
it.
can get your boss in here. We can talk to him too.
Exactly. You're not just going to just throw it around like that.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. And then the member starts getting a little, they have to understand. And here's the important thing: the member has got to trust the steward.
Yeah.
Okay. They have to. It's got to be a trust factor. And it doesn't just happen, but you got to have that.
And some members of management will do this. You'll get new stewards in a building that are more timid, that are not used to the process, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, come in here. You can listen to these. Listen, if there's a steward that you would rather use in your building, it doesn't have to be in your
Absolutely.
center. It just in
Hmm.
your building somewhere, and they are available to come and
Hmm.
represent you. You can go get that steward. You don't have to settle for someone, and I did when some of my stewards were coming up, I would sit in on there. I was just like, and they would be like, oh, well, there can't be more than one steward. I said, then go get another member of management, but I'm staying here. Like, there can be two members
Yeah.
of management, there'll be two stewards, but I'm going to help them
Yep.
through this process so
Hmm.
they know what to do, they know what to say, they know how to react, they know how to act. And it's
Yeah.
just important that the stewards handle that. It's important that the members stay calm, and we get the facts straight without everybody getting, all up in arms.
Yeah. And that's why I believe members should know what's going on also. It shouldn't just be the steward.
Yeah.
A lot of times you'll have the member in there just, okay, sign it, let's go. Or, I want them to know. I explain to them,
Yeah.
I want them to see it. How are they going to ever learn?
Yeah.
You know, they have to know. And maybe that helps them out. I mean, it's very, very important. And again, I'm going to say it again. You can use the steward you want because they'll just get someone who's not even in the classification, but they have to be available.
Yeah.
And you know that could make or break something.
Yeah.
It really
Absolutely.
could.
Yeah.
And we can't have that. That's just you know. But so after that's said and done,
Yeah.
let's say they give the discipline, we hand them a grievance, right?
Yes.
And tell them we get it done as soon as possible. I don't want to tell them, hey, you have 10 days. I need you to do this. I need you to do this. You
Yeah.
got 5 days.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
need
I
to do it
mean,
ASAP.
I just, especially if it's intent to term and you don't grieve it. Oh, geez, I cringe. I
Yeah.
cringe. And if the last minute, it's like, come on, man. I keep telling you, it's important. You got to understand the importance
Yeah.
of filing the grievance right away. And, you file it right away and everything's fresh either way, right?
Yes.
It's fresh.
Yeah.
It's fresh. I mean, it just happened. But also, what's important, do not fill a grievance out on the clock.
No.
Don't don't do it. Don't do it. You want to just get it done? No. And there's always time to fill out a grievance. Okay. And if you need help with it, any steward's going to be willing to,
Yeah.
help you through it. But, signing your name, you could do that, but the other stuff, whatever you need, if there's what kind of verbiage you want to use, that's fine. Well, that's what we're there for. People can't just take this lightly. The members just
No.
can't take these lightly.
It's your
You
career.
know,
It's your
it
career that's
is.
on the
It
line.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's our job to really push the company if they're just coming up with the crap,
Yeah.
just, oh, I got to give this, I got to give this.
You know,
And
I want to point out that we properly fill out the grievance. You put the right
yeah.
articles on there. You fill out all the
Uh-huh.
information correctly. You use that back page to plead your case, because there are places on the front to put what happened and what you want as a settlement and all that stuff. So you don't need to go into all those details on the front, just basic details on what
Yes.
happened. And that third page is going to be the one
Yes.
that you use. Now, this is this is our grievance forms here in 767. I don't know if the grievance forms
Yeah,
are different in other locals, but
they
for
are.
us,
They are.
it's on the third page. There's a whole page you can use there to plead your case, and sign
Yeah.
and date that as well. Since and that's that third page. Management doesn't see that page. That doesn't go to management. That stays with us. That first
Mhm.
page that were which you plead, which you just so what happened, put your name and everything on there. That goes to management. That gets presented. That gets signed. That gets sent to the hall, and then your third page gets sent along with it, with management never having seen it.
If you go to the panel, they're going to see it.
Oh well, yes. If it goes to that pace that far, but
Yeah. And I say, and it's important. You don't put, when it says, give a brief description on the front, I was given unjust discipline. I just make it brief.
yeah,
You do not plead your case on the front.
yeah,
Less is more. You just, nature of the grievance. You got to fill out everything. People want to rush it.
yeah.
And then they hand it to me, and I'm like, they're missing 18 spots, and I'm like, come on. And if they do that, if they do the process right, they'll do it better next time, and maybe they can show someone else. So we got to make sure they're doing everything right, filling everything out, signing it, dating it, doing everything that they have to, when, where, who is involved, everything like that. And you put all that information legibly, you
Yes,
know and that's important too because you want to be able to read it. That's why we got some with the pre-filled grievances.
yeah,
Yeah, we got to do all that, make sure the steward gets it signed. Now here's the thing, I'm going to tell you what I've always done. I don't send it in for the member. Now there are some part-timers who have issues. I might do that, but I don't make it a practice. My reason, I want them to be part of the process.
yeah.
They need to send it in,
And
you
it's
know
also if it's something important like that, like an intent to terminate, that needs to be on the
hmm
member. Like I don't want to have that on me. I'll send
Yep.
this, I send this in and then somehow it gets lost and then the member gets fired or
hmm
whatever. Like I will get it signed, I will hand it back to you. As like you fax it in, you use like we here locally, we have an app that you can send them in on,
Yep.
hand deliver it to your BA if you want to, drive it to the hall yourself, whatever it is you have to do. But if it's something like that, like you need to be sure that you're a part of that process. You need to make 100% sure it gets filed. And that's another
Yeah.
reason not to wait until they tend to turn it in. Like you
Yeah.
like ideally, if you've got something serious that's happened, you go home that night, you fill it out, you turn it in the next day. Because once again, this is your career. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. And there are certain stewards, and I'm not knocking. I mean, they'll send it in for the member. So if depending who's around, if they deal with me, I let them know, hey, I'm gonna get this back to you because they'll have sometimes I'll give the like really, and I'm like, yeah, I need you to send this in. It's important you get this in. We'll make sure it gets in. I mean, if you're in dire straits and you can't
yeah,
do it, we'll get it in there.
yeah,
But I want them to be part of the process. It's very important. And doing every single part of this process and going back to it when you're in the office, listen. Hopefully you have a good steward who really gets, asks the right questions and goes through it and does that. And you just again remain calm because it does no one any good when you start getting crazy. So, but you go in there, you file the grievance, you send it in. Like if it's a pay claim, you try to give them 48 hours to fix it, right?
yeah,
Eh, I do, but I still get the grievance in. I mean,
yeah.
I just, you know what I'm saying? I
The
mean, I give
grievance
it in,
starts
but
that clock.
yeah, and you could always, take it, withdraw it if you get it
Yeah,
taken care of, but
yeah,
you don't want to take that chance because management does to people, like, oh, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it 10 days. No, that's
yeah,
not it,
yeah,
So we got to do everything we're supposed to do. On the third page when you give in the description, when it's fresh, that's when you should do it. That's something
yeah,
that's something everyone should know. You do it right away. You don't put it off because you'll forget things. So you do it right away. You like, get that process going. Hopefully, you can resolve it, and maybe we can get it withdrawn or something like that afterwards. We try to do something with it, but then it's the BA's got it, and they go from there. but from start to finish, everything's got to be done.
Yeah.
And we just want to make sure we let everyone know that the grievances are important. I mean, it's if you don't do it on an intense, you go to the panel, it's a point of order, and 99.99999% of the time, you're done.
Yep.
They don't hear the case. Don't put yourself in that situation. I'm glad we went over some things because this process is important, especially with how many pieces of discipline that that the companies giving, and how they're violating seniority, and the supervisors working. Just do every part of it, write all the information you need to. Everything should be good, and repetition, you'll get better at it. And then when someone asks you, hey, you can help someone out. And that's what we want. That's what we
Exactly.
want. All right. So I'm glad we talked about it. So for myself and Garfield, everyone have a good day.
We all deal with national language, but on this podcast, when it comes to supplemental language, we deal mostly with the southern region. And as always, it's best to get advice from your local stewards or business agents. If you would like to reach out to us with any questions, we have an email address, 767realitycheck@gmail.com. That's 767realitycheck@gmail.com.
And remember, strong people stand up for themselves, but the strongest people stand up for others.